Told you earlier that they don't nominate coaches that are a part of teams that aren't winning. So it's the job our team has done. So they've just given everybody in our program an opportunity to be recognized, and so the Coach of the Year award is for them and for our staff.
Want to talk about Saturday a little?
There's not much left to talk about. It's just getting to the game, and we're excited. It's such a great rivalry, and there's so much emotion and energy, and it's just fun to be a part of it. And I hope that what we'll do is get into that game on Saturday afternoon and execute really well. Play our assignments, play great fundamentally. If we do that, then we'll give ourselves a good chance, and if we screw that up, then we're not going to have a great chance to win a game.
Your time of possession has been so good this year, I think, especially in the country. How much does that play a role?
It's interesting when we play games like this where the other team is trying to do the same thing and possess the ball. We've had other teams that really have tried to do that against us, and certainly it makes controlling the ball important, but also turning your drives into scores, because there's not going to be a bunch of them. You got to score to win, and hopefully we'll be able to sustain some drives and keep the ball away from them like we've tried to do all year. But it probably will be a lot more evenly matched in terms of the time of possession in this game than we've been able to do all year. I hope we can keep it even, and if we can control it more, then I think that'll help our chances.
Coach, Navy's got a very good fullback, Anthony Gargiulo. We met last week. Army's got a terrific fullback, Darnell Woolfolk. Why is it so important in a game like this that the fullbacks become factors in the game?
In this offense, I think it's important to be really good up the middle. Coach Johnson always said that to us. Have a good center, a good quarterback, and a good B-back. And I think we got really a good number of B-backs. Darnell's a good player, certainly. I think Andy Davidson's a really good player at B-back. Kalen Holt's a good player. Connor Slomka, Santa McCoy. I think all those guys are good and capable runners. And I'm excited about that group of guys. And we should be able to roll those guys in and play them. And it's really what we try to do all year and keep them fresh. And I think that helps the production at that position. Anthony's done a good job for them. He's a tough kid and a tough runner, and it's a big part of their offense as well, just like it is ours. So hopefully we can shut him down and shut their running game down some, because that's what they're trying to do ultimately, just like we are, try to run the ball to have offensive success.
Last night, Ken Brinson was runner-up for the Campbell Trophy. He's had a tremendous career here academically and as a starting football player. When you think of Ken Brinson, what he represents for West Point, what are some of the thoughts you have?
We're all just really proud of him for being nominated and becoming a finalist for that award. He's a special kid. He's got a ton of ability as a football player, but also as a student and as a future officer. He's a terrific leader. Our guys really respect him, and we were so proud of him to be there and to be recognized and to represent our program with that award. It is a very prestigious award.
Any final thoughts about how you get your team just in the right mental condition, right sense of so they can go out and play their best on a big stage on a big day?
We're trying to do that in practice. Just prepare them to play their assignments as close to perfect as they can. And on assignments, the guy you're supposed to block and the gap that you're supposed to play and the receiver you're supposed to cover, all those things, you can do that stuff perfectly. It's hard to play perfect, but it's hard to play perfect fundamentally. So really what we've tried to do is focus on being perfect on our assignments, and then really work hard to play well fundamentally, block, tackle, take care of the ball, all those things. And if we'll do that and take that approach on Saturday, then the emotion's going to come out, but we'll be able to execute the game plan and execute the fundamentals, which is really what's going to help us win the football game.
Coach, in terms of just, especially at this point in the season, or this point in the week at least, what are the emotions like going into this kind of game? Obviously it's been a couple times that you guys have been here, especially you have some very experienced guys. Just what's the emotional impact going to be like, especially at this point in the week where you have the final practice and are about to go to Philadelphia?
I think our guys are taking a very business-like approach, and I'm glad they are. The emotion will come out on Saturday. Everybody's excited. We know what's at stake, and these guys are very conscious of that. But we work really hard to get them to focus on doing their job, because that's what's going to win the game.
In terms of this senior class, obviously they've really helped and been the catalyst for turning this Army-Navy rivalry around. What do you think is really going through their minds right now? And do you feel like the experience that they have is really going to make the impact come Saturday?
I think our senior class is going to impact the football game. There's so many of those guys that play that we count on. What happens when you get to this point in your career as a football player, as an athlete, and you can see the finish line, is really, I think, there's a sense of urgency to play your best, and to try to have as much success here down the stretch as they can. They're going to remember these games. They're going to remember this game for the rest of their lives, and they're going to remember this season more than they remember any of them that they've played. So I'm sure that they're recognizing that it's close to the end of the season, and they want to make it a memorable one. And I know that winning this game would certainly do that for our senior class.
Earlier this week, obviously, you finally had the jersey reveal. I mean, just your thoughts, especially as a coach, seeing your players, starting to wear them, and what it really means is in terms of its tribute to, obviously, the Army's history.
Just a tremendous honor for us to wear those uniforms, to represent the soldiers that fought in World War II on the 100th anniversary of our 1st Division in the Army. And to honor all the men and women who serve in that unit still today. So great pride, and not only the Big Red One, the Army's 1st Division, but all of the men and women that serve. And those are the colors that we wear. It's the Army name that we wear on our uniform that really gives us great pride when we go out there and take the field. We know that we're playing this game for everybody who wears the Army uniform.
Now, obviously a big week in terms of, I know obviously Army-Navy is the major focus, but you still had the bowl announcement, especially with, the expectations that you might not get into a bowl game this year. Just, what was the reaction, and what was just your thoughts in being back in your 3rd straight bowl game?
I'm happy for our guys. I'm happy they get an opportunity to do that. I think it's one of the great rewards of playing college football, and we've had a good year, and I was confident that things were going to work out. We would get a bowl game. I know there's a lot of talk about the fact that we might not get one, but I thought it'd be. I thought everything would work out with like I said, with the number of wins that we've had and the things that this team's accomplished.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.